Alright guys and gals, it's time for Panzer Dragoon Zwei, the second one in the series, the shooting series. We've already done a playthrough of the first one, obviously, and the remake. So moving on to Zwei, and then we're going to do a playthrough of Saga 2. So Zwei is... So we're going to do a box game, first of all. I'm just going to increase my health a little bit, just to make sure that I can beat it in one sitting for the sake of the video. Obviously, I've done, played the game multiple times before. I know a lot about it. I've gotten 100% shot through ratio game before. My save file's on there somewhere, I'm sure. But that's not what I'm going for this playthrough. This playthrough, I want to showcase the game to, a newer generation. If you haven't seen this game, don't know what it's about or anything like that. And have fun and talk about the storyline. So the storyline's a little... It's easier... The first game, the storyline was a little bit more cryptic. I'm just gonna start it. I'll talk over the opening cinema just so we can get everything rolling. So many millennia have passed since the fall of the Old Age. People live in terror of the living weapon created from gene reconstruction. The weapons that humans created have cost them the power they once held. So a lot of the bio creatures and stuff were created by humans. Nations are at war with each other using excavated weapons from the old ages. Besides the warring nations, the people had their own lives to worry about. It all began in a small village on the frontier. I explained this in the first video, but this is a prequel. So this is the first Panzer Dragoon in the timeline, sort of. So, there's a back history, there's this game, which leads into 1, which leads into Saga. Now, these creatures are all called Kulias in some of the documents. And the ones with the glowing necks are considered mutants, and they're considered bad omens. And so that is our hero in this game. Lundy is his name. Yeah, there we go. So he lives in, small farming village, and they domesticated these animals, and the ones with the green glow in their necks are considered bad omens. They are killed on sight as soon as the mutation shows itself a little bit. However, oh my gosh, it's so cute. I thought that was the cutest thing in the world back in the day. And that is Loggy. So Lundy is the person. And Loggy, he's got the glow and a pair of wings. 1 year after. This is the Empire. And Mecania is a different nation. The Empire and them are fighting. They're at war with each other. The Empire is trying to use old bioweapons, just like the first game, to oppress other nations and stuff. So here's Lundy and Loggy training. Go, go! Village gets destroyed. Is it the Empire? This is when Loggy shows signs that he's a dragon, like the first game. There's this mysterious white ship that destroyed his village. Is it the Empire? Is it Mechania? Don't know. Destiny begins. So there's definitely some different gameplay things in this game, which I'll go through as we do them. The graphics are obviously, you know, improved from the first game. The controls are the same. It's basically a lot of this stuff you shoot in here. I don't have full instruments on. If you have full instruments on, you actually get points in this game, which is pretty cool. And a lot of the things you shoot here actually are giving you points in the background. You just can't see it right now, obviously, because I have that turned off for the sake of the video. Oh, it's another dark dragon, just like the first Panzer Dragoon. And there's the mysterious white ship. Oh! Shoot those things, give you points. That was like Indiana Jones. And the Temple of Doom. There it is in the background. That was so cool. That was so cool when I was young. Seeing the scenery there, seeing everything about it. This game came out only a year after the first Panzer Dragoon. The first Panzer Dragoon didn't sell all that well because it was an early launch Saturn game, but, you know, they had a plan, a 3-game plan, Team Andromeda. They had the first game planned, this game planned a little bit, and even Saga planned. So after the first game came out, they basically had a year to make Zwei. They rushed it a little bit, and it definitely didn't suffer because of that at all. Let me say that for sure. One trick to getting a high score in this level is to shoot this ship, by the way. Once this ship appears, just keep blazing it with bullets, and again, you don't see the score, but the score is going up. I'm not going to blow it up all right now because I don't care about the score. But anyways, that's the score trick on this level. Just keep shooting the ship. It'll rack up your score. Rack it up, rack it up, rack it up. So keep shooting it as long as you can. You can shoot through this rock thing. Don't worry about that thing blocking your way. I am hitting the ship. So that's one of the tricks on this level to get a high score. Crazy creature ahead. I think it's a Golia hunter. So this is the wrecked village, obviously. If you can catch on to that, this is the wrecked village that just got destroyed that we're riding through. Loggy obviously doesn't know how to fly yet. He was just practicing. So that's why we're on the ground, which is a great... Oh, he's airborne. He's airborne, he's trying. If you remember the first game, the Dark Dragon was the protector of the tower. The tower was a ancient construct from the old age. This game's definitely improved on the first game. The storylines, you know, a little bit better. And there's multiple paths. There's a berserk meter, which is above my life, which I'll explain when I use it. So this is the first level we'll be introduced to branching paths. There's only branching paths this level, the next level in 4, I think. So we're still on the ground again, and, you know, we're going to follow the white ship, which, if you caught that in the cinema, he realized that it's not an Empire ship. It's heading towards the Empire. So what is this mysterious white ship? Why did it destroy the village? You know, it's got a Dragon Guardian. So remember in the first game, the Dragon Guardian was the guardian of the tower. So you can shoot some of these things through the wall. Do that. I have these levels pretty much memorized. So, you know, I know where everything's coming from. And I know where the paths are going. But control scheme wise, it's just like the first one. So this is your first path right here. So if you hang right, you get the harder path. There's typically, you know, a harder path. After the level, you get some points, and your dragon can actually evolve in this one, which is super cool. Based on your evolution points at the end of the level, you get a certain amount of points for clearing the level. You get a certain amount of points if your shot down ratio is above 90%, I think. And you get a certain amount of points if you take harder routes. So in this playthrough, I'm going to try to take all the hard routes, because I don't see having any difficulty beating it. I'm going to try to take all the hard routes to show them first, and to hopefully show off the dragon evolutions. This part is awe-inspiring when I was younger. You start running towards this cliff, and you first take off as Loggy. He's flying. It was so... oh my gosh, that part was just inspiring. Let's see if I have all this memorized. Probably not. Maybe. But, you know, on the other side, the really cool thing about the branching paths in this game, like the amazing thing, to be honest, is they're clearly different. Meaning, like, if we went in the other path, it's not an air battle at all. It's actually a ground battle, going through like an outpost or something like that, and it's launching airships. And if you actually pay attention to the ships that it's launching and stuff like that, it's like launching ships that are coming to this side, if that makes sense. Like, it's really, really cool the way they did it. Trying to concentrate. So like I said before, they only had a year to make this game. The director from the first game skipped this one. He actually went on to Saga, because they were going to develop Zwei and Saga at the same time, but their development team was so small, and supposedly they didn't get a lot of help from Sega themselves, so they had to make some concessions, if that makes sense. And so a lot of the team that were working on Saga had to get pulled back to Zwei and try to finish Zwei before, you know, they could really fine-tune Saga. But the original plan was to definitely make all three, and that's why one of the reasons I love this series so much, like I've talked about in the last video, is, you know, they definitely had a plan for all this. They definitely, it was just a, you know, this and the first one are just, you know, 1 hour long shooters, 50-minute long shooters, but they have such a rich backstory and such a rich world. Like, it's so cool. Alright, so I'm doing good so far. I think I'm going 100%. We're still flying through the air with Loggy. You see that little green meter above my health? That is the Berserk meter. I'll use it on the boss just as an example. Not that I really need to. But it's basically, it makes you, I think you're invincible while you do it. But you also, you know, do a bunch of lasers, uninterrupted lasers, like over and over again. So you do it during, you know, troubled times when maybe you're not doing so hot and you need a little respite. Or like some higher times on bosses or something like that. So again, that was... this part of the level is just amazing. When I was little. Not when I was little, when I was a teenager. I keep saying when I was little. I was a freaking teenager. And I was a pretty big teenager too, okay? I wasn't little. So anyways, when we get to the end of the stage, the boss is going to be an Empire transport ship. And then we'll get evolution points after the stage. So, you know, Loggy's not that great at flying yet, so a lot of this stage was just gliding down, technically, right? So we are going to land on the ground for this boss. Because, you know, Loggy's got to get a little older. Get those wings up a little bit, which we'll get when we evolve, which you'll see in a second. So the boss will peek right around the corner. Like everything in Panzer Dragoon, it's all up to how fast you shoot your lasers. So shoot your lasers on this guy till his gun pops out, and then use your gun on this gun. Because, you know, you naturally just shoot the bullets. This is a good spot to use your Berserk. I'll just use it so, you know, we can see what it's like. That's what happens. You can aim around. You don't need to dodge. I think you're invincible. On this part, make sure you kill these arms. Those arms are going to throw stuff at you. And this boss is obviously pretty easy. It's the first boss of the game. Just Just want to keep your lasers going. When he goes to the front, he'll start to drop these, like, crates, because it's a transport ship, right? So it's transporting, like, cargo, I guess, is, you know, the thing. So keep shooting it. Now it's going to starting to try to drop stuff on us. Shoot some bullets. It's pretty easy to dodge. These blue ones you want to watch out for. You want to shoot those, obviously. Shoot any bullets that are coming your way. Definitely not too difficult. But you can get hit by stuff. See? I just got hit by a stuff. Hit by a stuff. Alright, transport ship down. And I loved this back in the day. These mountains and the boss, you know, peeking through the mountains over there. That was such a cool touch. Such an improvement from the first game, right? The first game, obviously, I have a lot of nostalgia for. It looks fantastic. But this game even looks that much better. When I first read about this game and saw it in EGM or Game Fan or something like that. There we go. There's the point screen, like I said. So I got 5 points, so my dragon's going to evolve in the background. As it evolves, it gets a little bit stronger. You get more health, you get more berserk, and your lock-ons actually go up too, so you can lock on to more things. So it's definitely advantageous to try to do as best you can. So this stage, I'm being chased by ships still, and we're going to enter the forest below. And this is Mechania. These are ships from Mechania. And we're going to go in the forest to hide. But obviously, the forest's got a lot of the biomechanical creatures. Lundy realized they actually weren't chasing him. They were chasing the white ship, and we were just collateral damage, sort of. And what was that mysterious black ship coming out of nowhere? I probably won't get 100% shot down on this level. I don't have it 100% memorized. These ships you have to hit twice, so get your lock-ons, hit them once, but they need 2 times, so keep going. Get them all twice. Alright, I think I got it. These ships, you can just go, keep your target in the middle and go straight across, and you'll hit them all with what you need to hit them with. I missed that one. Right, the different route on this level is kind of tricky to get to. There's no tell on it, so I'll try my best to get it. Come on. It's not yet. It's on the next group, I think. So just chill with this group. And then, right now, hang to your left. Just ignore these guys. You can kill them after the route activates. There we go. Alright, so I activated the harder route. And since I don't have full instruments on, if you do, it actually says the route on the screen, so you know when you've, reached a different route. Which is helpful if you're trying to get the harder routes. Keep full instrument mode on. And this route has this guy. This guy just shot down all the Mechanica ships in the cinema. So is this... I'm not doing too good hitting these guys. Alright, so what is this ship, right? Like, if everything's trying to go after the mysterious white ship, are these from the mysterious white ship? Obviously, I know the answer to that. You probably do too. But, back in the day, it was up for interpretation a little bit. Very cryptic. And I didn't kill this ship yet. Because I'm talking and not paying attention. Let's see if I can get it. I have no idea if I killed it in time. There's another one. You want to make sure you try to get these jumping guys before they get too overwhelming. Oh, where is it? Where is it? You could use your berserk here if you really want to. You don't really need it on the boss. The boss is pretty easy. From what I remember. But again, I love the first Panzer Dragoon so much, and this was just like an improvement on the first one in every facet. Like, it blew my mind. Like, you can tell the graphics have a little bit higher fidelity, the enemies, the frame rate's a little bit better. Everything's just a little bit a notch above the first one. And I love this forest level with the sun rays peeking down through the ceiling. This is the boss. You will recognize him from the first level, right? The Goliath Hunter. I'm pretty sure that's his name. If it's not, oh well. Oh well. So he'll go around you. When he goes to the side one more time, he's going to jump over you and shoot some stuff. So just make sure you shoot it down with your bullets. And when he goes up top, like he is now, you could actually still hit him. You can keep locking onto him. He will drop some enemies on you. But I hit him out of that very quickly. Alright, this is when he's going to jump over me. I'm going to switch. Get the bullets coming to you from the other side too. And then this is when he does... He's going to try to schmack you. Schmack you. Well, this boss is relatively easy. Now he'll drop these triangle things that just... You can lock onto them and shoot them. So they're not too hard to dodge or anything. And you can see he's almost dead. And there's another scoring thing this too. When the boss dies, aim for his mouth and keep shooting. He's spitting out those bullets. And every time you hit one, you get a higher score. So again, that's another, score cheat on this level that you might not know about. And if you had a score on the screen, it'd be much clearer. The next episode is a pretty difficult episode to get 100%. Oh my gosh, I missed so much stuff. Alright, so we got 10. But we got above 90%, so that's the cutoff for getting technical points. So we got all the technical points we need. So we actually made our way to an old ruin. In the first game, there was an old ruin we went into. This one's actually one of my favorite levels. It's a ruin that's filled with water, too. And the hard route is right at the beginning. So right when you start, 3 enemies, shoot them. It's going to be 3 more enemies, and then you want to pull up, like right away. If I remember correctly. Alright, pull up, pull up, pull up. Dodge those. This is where you want to pull up. Okay. So I think we activated... So this is considered Route 3. It's very difficult to get 100% shot down on Route 3. There's a lot of tricky parts. So you want to be fast with your lock-ons. In this hallway, there's going to be some areas where enemies come in from the side. And you only have a split second to lock onto them before they go away. So you have to have those memorized for sure. But I loved this level. Like the water effects and everything. Especially the boss. The boss of this level is so good. The music. I love the music in this game too. It's not fully orchestrated like the first game. Because I think they said it's because it has branching paths. Meaning, in the first game, every level is a set amount of time, right? Because it doesn't change at all. So, oh, I forgot about this part. Pay attention. Pay attention! I have no idea if I got all that. The levels are a set amount of time, right? So, if it's 3 minutes 50 seconds, you can make a track that's 3 minutes 50 seconds. But on this one, the routes differ a little bit. So, these ones you have to be quick on your lock-ons because they go in the water and then they're unshootable. Watch out for the gates too, that's difficult. I always run into at least one. I just missed a guy. Anyways. So the music, they changed a little bit. It's not just fully orchestral with a little bit of electronics streamed from the CD. But the music doesn't suffer because of that, even though the music in the first one was so good. I don't think. I love the music in this one. They tried to do a little bit more like ethnic sounds, like drums and different, different ethnic instruments and stuff like that. And it definitely lends itself well to the universe for sure. And I especially love this level's music, especially when we get to the boss. Wait till we get to the boss. Alright, so we're doing pretty good. Each branching path on this level is definitely a different visual journey. And I actually like visually some of the other paths more than that one, but I don't know, we were just taking the hardest path for today. Right, this is the boss. And now the music. Oh man, the boss is gonna change. The music's gonna change. And so this is, you know, this is an old ruin. Biomechanical creatures that come in alive because the dragon's here. Again, to defend it. So they sense the presence of the dragon. I love this music. It's so creepy. It's so good. Something in the water. He's easily one of the coolest bosses in the game. So just keep an eye on him as he goes around. Try to get him when he jumps up. And then on this part, the best strategy that I found is just use your bullets. Just let it ride. Aim for that like third brick or so, and then he'll just get hit by it as he comes up the whole way. So you're just chunking away his health right now. Just chunking it. But this is one of the coolest effects. Oh man. Back in the day, the water in the background and these blocks getting thrown everywhere with the creepy boss and the creepy music. Oh, it was so good. This game is so good. This is probably my favorite shooter of all time. Like 3D shooter, not 2D shooter. Alright, this is a good spot to use the Berserk. I just use it here just because he'll go back in the water and you can't hit him for a second, but, you know. You'll unload on him, take out a good chunk of his health, and then just hit him as you can. When he does this, watch out for the tail, which I did not. He tailed me. Alright, these things you do need to shoot, by the way. So, as soon as you destroy these, they will shoot something at you. So lock onto a bunch, lock onto more, and move sort of in a figure 8, if I remember correctly. But you do want to hit all these. I think they count to the shot-down ratio. If I remembering correctly, I don't really know. If I'm remembering correctly. I'm remembering stuff from a long time ago. Now this is easier to dodge. Just go, he'll alternate, right? So just go back and forth. If you don't know how to dodge that, then it is kind of tricky, but if you've done it a few times, you'll get a feel for it. Watch out for the tail right there. Usually he's dead at this point, but I'm a little slow today. There we go. Bam, 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 bam. Amazing. Amazing seeing that back in the day. Turn your camera around, you get a little surprise too. Anyways, so the story of that level, you know, we're just going through the ruin basically. The troops, you know, chased us into there. And we got the hard route, so we're gonna get the route points. We did not. We missed a tech point. I didn't do good enough for the tech point, so we suck, basically. So we're not going to get, if you actually get max points each level, you get a secret dragon evolution right before the last boss, which I have gotten before. And so now we're exiting the cave, and there's a lake we're going to go over called the Georgius, I think. And the ship, obviously, you know, withstood. I love this dragon look, by the way. Anyways, this is the Georgius, and it's a little bit of snowy. And this is another guardian that just came out of the ship. And the ship's name, by the way, is the Shellkoof. It's not said audibly in this game, I don't believe. But it is in Saga. It does show up in Saga. And it's called the Shellkoof. So we are at the lake, and this is sort of a guardian for the ship. And I love this level. It's pretty short level. The boss is relatively easy if you know a trick, which I do. These ones are kind of hard to dodge. I'm obviously not doing a good job right now. But if you go back and forth, you can dodge them a little bit better. So just go back and forth, up and down. You can kill them if you shoot regular bullets. So we killed this guardian of the ship, did we? Uh-oh. It's still splashing. Uh-oh. I love this music too. The music in this game is so good. And as you can see, the berserk meter keeps filling up as the level goes. So, you know, as you shoot things, it goes up a little bit more. I love the lasers on this dragon too. If you notice them, they sort of like curl a little bit. It's a cool visual effect. There's going to be a lot of these guys. You want to use your gun, switch over here real quick, use your gun again, and then from the front, it's going to have another big group of these guys. It is it's pretty easy to miss one of these guys. I don't know if I got them all. And there it is, the Shellcoof in the distance. That was awe-inspiring when I first played this game. Like, awe-inspiring. It was like, oh my gosh. Graphics are insane nowadays. This big string of them, just try to hit most of them, and the whole string will die. There's going to be 3 in front of us. Center, left, and then we're a little bit slightly to the right. Yeah. And now I believe it's the boss already. Which, you know, we've already seen. This boss. Ripples in the water there. I loved this level. Just the foreign, like, structures poking out of the water is so creepy. And now the trick to this guy, there is a trick. The trick is to not use your lasers. If you shoot him with your lasers, that little shield will block them. And if you kill that shield, you could actually kill that shield by shooting it with bullets. If you kill that shield, he actually has a harder form. So the trick is actually just use your regular gun, don't hit that little shield. He'll occasionally shoot these bolts at you, but they always miss you. See how they're missing me and I'm not dodging or anything? The other bolts that he shoots, these ones here, you just gotta try to shoot down before they get at you. They usually come in a pattern. So you just gotta memorize the patterns, but just use your regular gun, I'm telling you. Don't even worry about his other form if his shield gets destroyed, unless you destroy it accidentally. There you go, see? Not like nothing's hit me. I've been hit like once. I mean, it does take a little while, but... There we go. Easy peasy. It does give your finger a workout, you know? If you get in a rhythm with the gun in this game, if you haven't played it, it goes in sort of a three-shot burst. So you really don't need to slam on it. You hit it, wait a second, hit it, wait a second. As your dragon levels up, it gets better. Like right now, I think it's maybe like a 5-shot burst. It's not really a 3-shot. So you don't necessarily have to kill your finger. So hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it. You'll get the rhythm. There you go. Another guardian down. And remember, foreshadowing. In the first game, the guardians guarded the tower. So it actually, you know, it turns out that the Shellcoof, the white ship we're chasing, is like a flying tower. And, you know, the towers obviously want to kill the dragons. So, you know, it's theorized that's why it destroyed the village. It knew that the mutant Kulias were being in that village. And we finally made it. We caught up to the Shellcoof. The dragon that's been chasing us goes to the underside. Remember what happened to the dragon in the first game when it got to the tower, right? Wink, wink. This level is amazing. I will not get 100% shutdown ratio on it. I would need way more practice before then. This level is awe-inspiring. When I was a teenager, man, this level was like, oh my gosh. Games are like next level. So this game, obviously, the shell coop, I said it out loud. It's basically a flying tower, where it is in the first game, it was the tower was stationary, right? Was sort of the center for some old technologies, that bioweapons that humans, created themselves, it says. And the dark dragon, the prototype dragon that was chasing us the whole game, was sort of its guardian. So there's no reason to believe that the dragon that's been chasing us this game is not this tower's guardian, if that makes sense. And the role of the blue dragon in the first game was to destroy the tower. So I think that's probably our job here, is to destroy this tower, even though it's a flying mobile tower. I just missed another guy. So 100% shutdown ratio is not good. Let's try to stick above 90 though. Even though we're sure at one point we're not going to get the secret evolution, I don't think, unless I'm remembering wrong. But this level's so good as you go through the tunnels, and this part's one of the coolest parts. You actually go outside, and you can see like the rudders of the shell coop. This is a good area to berserk if you need to, if you want to. It's not too hard. But on harder difficulties, these things shoot out a lot of lasers and stuff like that. However, you could also save the berserk for a different part of this level, which we'll get to in a minute. So, we just came outside the ship, and we're obviously trying to disable the ship. So it's almost like we're inside, a giant boss, like fighting the boss. So intense, so cool. On harder difficulties, it's dang hard, too. And we destroyed the rudders to try to get it to crash into the ground. We have to destroy the tower. We're going to keep going through the shell coop. Our goal to destroy it. Maybe find the other dragon, the other dark prototype dragon. I love these old grungy muddy textures. I've said it before a million times. These Saturn textures, they bring me back. I understand if you don't like them. To each their own. But they bring me back. Alright, we've made it our way to the underside. So there's... Oh, my controller's paused. I think I have a problem with my controller ports nowadays. Alright, get those three guys back to the front. Hey, we made it to the underside, where the dark dragon went. There's no signs of it, though. Oh, I missed a guy. There's no signs of it, though. What's going on? I love this dragon form. Oh. And it opens up to reveal what's basically... I consider this an egg. It's an egg of some sort. And we're destroying the shell of the egg. This is a good place to use your berserk. Just let it fly, because you won't need it. You won't need it for a while. So, if you don't want to dodge stuff, a little lazy, just shoot that. The rest of the stuff you can dodge by just doing your normal sort of figure 8 pattern. It does release ships once in a while. And you're basically breaking the egg open. Whatever it is that's shooting us, we're not even hitting it. We're hitting, like, egg pieces. Like eggshell pieces. There we go. So we went to the bottom of the Shellcoof. We destroyed some of its rudders to hopefully crash it. And see, we're 1 point short. The Secret Dragon evolution is 24 points, from what I remember. Oh, we missed it by 1 point. But what was in that egg? So the Shellcoof is definitely losing altitude. It's crashing down behind, you know, the cloud line. It actually crashes into the lake below, which is where you find it in Saga. Last episode. So the Guardian Dragon, just like the first game, the tower transformed it into, you know, the bigger prototype dragon. Well, this is even bigger than that. This is amazing. Oh my gosh. After the first game, the last boss of the first game... Oh, watch out for the plasma trail there. It's like... This one's got like sort of feathers in a fan pattern. And after that, it'll go behind you. And you can target all these like feathers, I guess. I don't know what you want to call them. Other than feathers. It'll start shooting some stuff. It's best to use the regular gun for this. Almost just like the first game. It's very similar to the first game. And then this one you want to go to the right a little bit. I messed that up. So it is what it is. Again, try to shoot these regular gun. You can lock onto them. I mean, whatever floats your boat. I would save your Berserk for the second, or I don't want to ruin it for you. I wouldn't use... This is the part where you watch out for the tail. He's gonna whip his tail at you a couple times. You really gotta start dodging early. I completely screwed that up. Alright, there we go. That was a good dodge. I think he does it 4 times. Yep. So I totally almost messed that up. So he's gonna start shoot another plasma trail at us. This one's pretty easy to dodge, I would say. Just stay to the side. This is when he shoots his lock-on lasers. You wanna go just around in a circle, around in a circle. It says hello to you. Gives you a little kiss. More lasers, I think. So around in a circle, around in a circle. Watch out for his plasma trail again. Just try to stay out of it. This was tough back in the day. This was tough when I was a kid. So this is going to be another one of those green things. I think I've gotten hit by each one of those. When the screen flashes, he's shooting lasers, by the way. Move. When your screen flashes, start moving. Alright. This is normal difficulty, by the way. I just kept it on normal instead of trying to do an easy thing. I just, like I said, I gave myself more health to ensure that I would beat the game in one sitting while recording for all you peoples, all my peoples. He's almost dead. We got him. Get out of here. Falls apart like the first game and reveals another form. If you're playing on easy, it won't have this phase. So this phase, he tries to ram you. He's got those energy things on him. This is a good phase to obviously use your Berserk. I'll probably just do it now. I'll just do it now. So I can start building it up again. A lot of this phase is just dodging. Because he'll try to ram you with those like energy weapons on his side. And you want to stay out of that plasma trail too, that green plasma trail. It's definitely not that hard. It's just, it takes a lot of time. It's hard to hit at times. But you can get a lot of lock-ons. You can get max lock-ons to him. And now watch out for when he comes close to you, he'll do this, obviously. Just do your normal dodging. He does it a couple times. Just hit him when you can. Hit him when you can. Don't take chances. The biggest thing is don't let him ram you. That does a lot of damage. So always be moving, right? That's the Panzer Dragoon motto. Always be moving. But a lot of the challenge of this boss is just trying to aim and hit him. Because obviously you want to use your lock-ons. And we got him. First try. So our dragon has fulfilled its role again, right? So the role of these blue dragons is, you know, destroying the towers. And so maybe that's why the Shellkoof attacked the village, right? To break the cycle. Because, you know, there's stories of, you know, it's all hearsay a little bit. And if the dragons get reincarnated whenever a new tower appears or something like that. And this being the first game, this could be the first ever, you know, blue dragon. So there's the Shellkoof with some of the, you know, creatures from it losing altitude still. So it's not quite destroyed yet. So Logi is making a decision. Pretty similar to the first game, right? And by the way, this cinema does change depending on your dragon's form. It will be in the correct form that you end up with, which is really cool. It's another great touch. So this is Lundy, and actually he's having some visions of the future. Because some of this footage right now, it's showing you Panzer Dragoon 1. So who knows what he's being told exactly. But he's seeing a vision of, you know, Logi, Panzer Dragoon 1, the tower being destroyed, and bam! Shellkoof getting destroyed too, which is a flying tower like we talked about. But again, a lot of this information, I'm telling you, it's not clear in the game, right? Like I had to do research and I had to, you know, find out about it. And that's one of the reasons why I love the series so much. If you haven't watched the first Panzer Dragoon Saturn walkthrough gameplay video, I would suggest watching it, because I talk more about, you know, the history and the setting behind the game. So here's the ruins of the Shellkoof. Lundy decided to go inside. An impression, I guess, of his body when he destroyed the thing. But the green glow in the neck is still glowing. What does it mean? I don't know. You know, obviously I do a little bit, but, you know, back when this game first came out, there wasn't a lot of stuff about it. This game actually had more information about it than Panzer Dragoon 1. So when Panzer Dragoon 1 came out, I had to do a lot of the self-research on the backstory, which is how I fell in love with the game, as I talked about in the last episode. But this game, there was much more information about it, so this story was less up to interpretation. I had to do less research and stuff like that. That makes sense. Because obviously when this game came out, it was such a jump over the first one that there was a lot of fanfare, and, you know, it had a lot of good reviews. It was named Game of the Year by some publications and stuff like that. And I just absolutely love it. I adore it. It's my favorite 3D shooter of all time. Easily. Like, it's such a love letter to the Panzer Dragoon universe, and it was done so well, and I just can't get enough of it. And to flesh out the story a little bit more after the ending, Lundy, he does have a storyline after this game, a fully fleshed out storyline. He eventually joined a group of people called the Seekers, and now the Seekers are also in Saga. And he actually chronicled his journey and left diaries and notes for new dragon riders that might come after him, based on his vision, because he knew stuff would happen after him. So he actually left diaries and notes, and you can actually find those in Saga. And it's amazing. It's amazing how everything got tied together. And, he always, he lived to an old age, just like, Kyle from the first Panzer Dragoon. And he lived with the Seekers. He told his story. He didn't hide it. And he always thought that him and Lundy would be reunited someday. Sorry, Loggy. He's Lundy. Loggy would be reunited someday because that green glow at the end. You know what I mean? And, he saw those visions of another blue dragon. I don't know. It's just so amazing. All the love and the care and everything about this game. The art, like everything. And the fact that a group of like 20 people, like only 20 people made this game. And they made it in under a year. Like, amazing. Like, I don't know. I love this game so much. And I hope you enjoyed playing today. That was the ending. That's the credits. I hope if you have a chance to play this game before the remake... Oh. See? I think it ends on that, though. I hope you get a chance to play this game before the remake comes out, and then when the remake comes out, I hope, it's a little bit better than the first remake. It deals with the source material a little bit better. But thank you for, hanging out with me as we do this video. Let's see how bad I did. Not bad. Vanguard, 93.8. Not bad for having not played this in, like, many, many years, okay? But anyways, that's Panzer Dragoon Zwei. Guys, gals, non-binary pals, thank you so much for having this moment with me. It's such a good game. I hope you can play it if you have access to it. And it's just amazing. I love the series. And we're going to be going on to Saga videos next. All right. Peace out.